Hey everybody, I'm Evan Hammonds for bloodhorse.com and welcome to After the Wire, which is brought to you by EquiAid, the makers of Bodybuilder and other fine natural products. It's the good old summertime, and before we turn our focus to the older division in the coming weeks with the Whitney and Pacific Classic, we still have time for the Glamour division, and the three-year-old set delivered over the weekend with a pair of glamorous performances in the Jim Dandy at Saratoga and the William Hill Haskell at Monmouth Park. Looking back on this year's sophomore bunch, we were impressed with Dogwood Stable's Palace Malice's looks at Churchill Downs, and we loved his win in the Belmont Stakes. I'd peg him at the head of the class and a serious one to hold his own down the road. His effort in the Jim Dandy did nothing to dispel my assessment. Dwyer winner Marino went to the lead, and it was no surprise. The Palace Malice stayed glued to him on the lead through fractions of 24 flat, 23 and 2, and 23 and 3. Now Palace Malice threw down another 23 and 4 fourth quarter, which that helped put him in front, and a 12 and 2 final eighth sealed the deal. Now visually, it was not super stellar by any means, but upon further review, it was a solid win. The late running Will Take Charge closed well despite bearing out in the lane. Now with the winner, who looks bigger, faster, and stronger than he did in the Belmont, and the winner of the Haskell, Will Take Charge is also one to watch with that extra eighth of a mile for the Travers Stakes. We witnessed some great efforts of late in the Jim Dandy, most notably Medaglia d'Oro's Men Among Boys performance in 2002 and Bernardini's romp in 2006. We can't put Palace Malice's effort in that category yet, but based on his effort, I would say he's the one to beat in the Travers. In the Haskell, I was a little taken aback that Verrazano was sent off as the even money favorite over Oxbow and Power Broker, but then he went out and delivered a haymaker in Oceanport, New Jersey. Words are really hard to come by when a horse pulls away with such ease. Verrazano went into the Kentucky Derby unbeaten, but came home 14th. Trainer Todd Pletcher regrouped and got the horse on the right path at Monmouth. He got him in a super prep race in the Pegasus at a mile and a 16th, and he had an outstanding 47 and 2 drill up at Saratoga last week that really helped tighten the screws. This was not the same horse that we saw at Churchill Downs back in May. In the Haskell, it was Oxbow who went to the lead and was moving quite well through a quarter of 23 and 4 and an open half of 48 and 1. Verrazano and John Velasquez sat right off the leader, but it was apparent early on in the run down the backstretch that Verrazano is a different animal than he was this spring. Wow, what a long stride on the colt. When Johnny V asked, he moved by the Preakness winner with ease with another 24 flat quarter. While Power Broker improved from some early odd action to get second and micromanaged, finishing the photo for third, they were just floundering in the wake of the winner. A visually stunning effort, but the final time of 150 and 3, which is slow by historic standards. It's about on par with Dixie Union's 150 flat back in 2000. It was a great win for Let's Go Racing, for the Coolmore team of Michael Tabor, Susan Magnier, and Derek Smith, the sire More Than Ready, and breeder Emery A. Hamilton. Now, will Verrazano stretch back out to a mile and a quarter at Saratoga? Well, we'll have to wait and see in the Travers. It made for a great weekend for the smiling Todd Pletcher, who took down both big races, and Velasquez, who won the Haskell a day after setting the mark for the most wins by a jockey at Saratoga. Now, even though Saratoga runs many more days than it did back in the day when Angel Cordero was the king of Saratoga, the feat is monumental nonetheless and should stand for a long time. For After the Wire, I'm Evan Hammonds. Thanks for watching.